We had fruitlessly scanned the newsstands for references to Bilderberg. There was nothing in the mainstream papers. Jim said that a media blackout was in operation. I didn't know what to think. But there was one exception. The Weekly News is a tiny English-language parish newspaper for British expats. They've gone big on the story.
We're going to meet with the reporter from a local newspaper in Lisbon who's given heavy attention to the upcoming Bilderberg meeting, and we share all the information we can get with each other. And that way we can expose these jackasses.
We got an email through from New York saying, you know, how can you allow these people to meet in your country? And I sent an email back to the guy and said, who are they? I've never heard of them. Who are Bilderberg? He sent me back some information and found that this was rather tip of an iceberg.
So are you finding yourself thinking up conspiracy theories?
I find myself out of my depth, actually. Yes, if 10% of these people came to this country in the normal way, it would be in all the newspapers. What is the agenda that we shouldn't know? These are powerful people. They have the ability to steer the way the world will go.
Jim and I spent the day at the Weekly News. It turned out that Paul's suspicions about Bilderberg were slightly less objective than they'd first seemed.
And a lot of Christians believe that we are in end times, and the Bible generally talks of the way that the world will move, a sense of disorder, of children not respecting their parents, of extreme. And it would appear to suggest also that we move towards the forming of a very powerful group.
Do you think Paul's getting a bit carried away, thinking this is...
Well, I consider them bad guys now. I don't know if they're actually Satanist or not.
Well, not Satanist. I mean, we're talking actually Satan, himself.
Does Paul think that this is some kind of biblical prophecy being fulfilled?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I really don't know. Mother, your dutiful son is playing kick the can in Portugal on Wednesday morning. Thank you.
The next day brought a strange development. The new Weekly News was supposed to hit the newsstands today. Another Bilderberg expose.
O jornal?
The news.
Não.
Não vende aqui, não segue todo. Tá bem. Não segue o APN.
No.
We're 5 kilometers away from where the Bilderberg conference is being held, and the newspaper's not yet.
This is the very first time ever, in all the years we've been working with this paper, that this has happened. That it gets distributed in the Algarve and it doesn't get distributed in this area. Amazing.
One of the Bilderberg members is the owner of the printing press that prints Paul's newspaper.
And they control the...
distribution.
Uh-huh.
You can have a crooked mind and think, is it a coincidence that the man that prints our papers, could that be that man had anything to do with it?
But the paper did appear a few hours later. Fred and Brendan were just being paranoid. We were all becoming a little paranoid. It is easy to be sucked up into the paranoia.
So this is the scene of the crime.
This was supposed to be an easy day. Jim simply wanted to verify that the complete shutdown of the Caesar Park had been accomplished. The plan was to drive up there and be turned away at the gate. Then we'd drive back to our hotel for a leisurely afternoon by the pool and in the bar.
Hi.
Hi. Just going to the hotel.
Hotel, huh?
But it was not to be. The gatekeeper lifted the barrier and waved us in with a cheerful smile.
I'm surprised already.
So we're back inside.
So I saw those cops deploying yesterday, I thought
this would be it.
The hotel was deserted. There was nobody else there. This was unnerving. We had lunch and quickly left. David Barker, the cameraman, did the driving because we didn't expect anything to happen. But something did happen, so I picked up my home video camera.
Well, there's nothing subtle about it, is there?
Somebody tailing us again?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see him in the rearview mirror back there. Looks like we have a waiting game here. The other poor fool doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if we're going to turn around and go the other way.
Shall we do? Just do what we're doing. Stop acting suspiciously. Abide by the rules, the laws of the country. And we're not breaking any law. Here he comes. He's behind us now.
He's behind us again, Jim.
Yes. I couldn't see him.
He's there.
Oh, yeah. He's hanging way back.
Is he pulling up?
Oh, yeah, he's stopped.
And he knows that we know he's there.
So who could it be?
Bilderberg security of some kind. He's not going to move till we move.
Do you think they might shoot us?
I don't think so. I think it'd be too big of a story to have a fat old dead reporter lying on the shoulder.
We were followed back to our hotel.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there. Standing behind a tree. We're playing peekaboo.
In the room, and a different key. One of these with the number 408 on it, which hadn't been there before, was in the power thing against the wall. So somebody has been in my room without question. So that's why I put a bit of plastic here and a little bit of plastic on your door, David. So if they're on the floor when we get back tonight, we're moving to another hotel. Our surveillance continued for the rest of the evening. A man in a car followed us to a bar and then to dinner. And eventually I telephoned the British Embassy.
No, it's okay. We're being followed. Well, we don't really know what to do, having never been followed before.
No, he's with us.
There he is.
I explained to the British Embassy that I was essentially a humorous journalist out of my depth, and they replied with an extraordinary statement. They said that the Bilderberg group was way out of their league, that they were just a little embassy.
He's still with us. He's got a car get between us.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping that maybe there was something you could do.
Later, the British Embassy phoned me back and said they'd spoken with the Caesar Park and had been told that nobody was following us. They said we must be imagining it. They said it was all in our minds.
We are approaching the scene of the crime again.
Thursday. This was the day Jim said the limousines would arrive.
Yep, they're sealed up, but I don't see any reporters.
If I still had my doubts, Jim said, today was the day I'd know that the world was nothing like they said it was. A 5-hour wait followed. Nothing happened. Even Jim began to seem unsure. I was having doubts. For instance, why would the secret rulers of the world allow a tourist bus into their cabal?
Now, how come they just let a coach party in?
Could it be some Bilderberg personal staff, like their own private cooks, valets, whatever?
But Brendan, the photographer from the Weekly News, later said he saw something on the coach that froze him to the spot.
I expected the people inside the bus to be waiters, cleaning staff. As the bus drove in, I focused on one person and he was staring at me. He surveyed me. It looked like he was staring right through me and actually looking down. It looked like he was looking down on me. And I realized that it was Peter Mandelson.
And you're sure it was Peter Mandelson?
I am 100% sure it was Peter Mandelson, yes. Yeah. It was a strange stare. It was a different type of stare. It was as if he was the only person in that bus. Everybody was looking forward and he turned sideways and go slowly, slowly, slowly. It was remarkable. It really was, yeah.
It's a chilling tale.
Yeah, chilling tale.
Then, incredibly, at 5 p.m, something began to happen. Later I managed to get a copy of the guest list, the names of the men who really did roll past us up the drive of the Caesar Park that day. There was Umberto Agnelli, chairman of Fiat. There was Paul Allaire, chairman of Xerox. There was Conrad Black, chairman of the Daily Telegraph. There was Kenneth Clark. There was Donald Graham, publisher of the Washington Post. There was Richard Holbrooke, ambassador to the United Nations. There was Henry Kissinger. There was Peter Mandelson. There was William McDonough, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. There were CEOs of Nokia and SmithKline Beecham. There was David Rockefeller, chairman of the Chase Manhattan Bank. There was Robert Shapiro, CEO of Monsanto. And there was James Wolfenson, president of the World Bank.
They're inside the scene of the crime now, planning their crimes.
It seemed that Jim had stumbled onto something extraordinary. It seemed that Jim was right.
Tonight they eat, drink, and be merry. Tomorrow they start their evil work.